A record number of adults are working that are over age 65, and it's not just about the money. Today, although all my content is primarily early retirement focused, today is going to be specifically about why are so many people working past age 65. Now, I'm a certified financial planner and I help people retire early. Truly, I just want people to know, are you working because you want to or because you have to? I see a lot of articles online that make me very emotional because this is all I'm doing all day, every day. And I'll come across something that says, you need $1 million to retire. Like this article right here. This article by Bankrate says 1 in 3 Americans in the workforce say they need more than 1 million to retire comfortably, and some 19% report that they need 2 million or more. So here's my concern with these articles, is they will actually instill fear in you, and you'll think to yourself, hey, what if I don't have $1 million? What if I don't have 2 million? My neighbor, I think that they have more than $1 million and they're actually about to retire. I'm nowhere near that. Am I not on track? That is not what that means. They might want to spend way more than you. They might want to have 3 vacation homes. They might want to fully support their children in terms of a new down payment or college or whatever that may be. That might not be your goal. So don't, number one, fall in the head trash of thinking, hey, am I not on track? Because I see articles that tell me that you need millions and I'm not quite there. Now, you might actually have millions watching this video and I still might say you're not on track. And the reason, maybe you want to spend way more than an average retiree. You know what I would say to that? Good. If you want to spend more money, that means that there's a very specific reason for that. That adds to your quality of life. And I would rather you retire with $5 million and go, wow, I work 3 more years from 60 to 63 so that I can actually spend what I want in retirement. Gosh, that was so worth it. I don't want you to retire at 60 going, yeah, so I have a good amount of money, but I can't really do what I want to do. So that's number one. Number two, we're going back to this main article, and these 3 points that I'm going to walk you through today should hopefully hit home in a way that makes you go, wow, I'm in a better spot than I thought, or I do need to change how much I'm saving and investing so that I can retire early. The article I'm referencing today, which I will put in the description of this episode, Andy Roy, he has a job where he mows grass at a local cemetery. Now, only 8% of retired Americans currently have a side gig or job, but 60% wish they had one. Now, that can be due to many reasons. Number one, you can see, he says, it gets me out of my wife's way, which sometimes it's really weird when you retire and then all of a sudden you've been working for 40 years and now you're next to your wife or husband or partner all day, every day, and you're like, hey, I am glad that we have time together, but this is too much time, if you know what I mean. Then all of a sudden there's oh my gosh, purpose, fulfillment. How do I want to spend my time? Some of you are like, I just need to financially know I'm in a good spot. I'm going to travel. I'm going to enjoy my life. I want to actually just de-stress for a minute. That makes sense. But what then happens is all of a sudden you go, okay, I de-stressed. It's lovely not having an alarm clock, but now I don't really know what I want to do. Now, here's what's so cool and what I want you to take away, hopefully from anything of this article, it's the following. So Andrew Crowell, I do not know who this is, but you can see that he is a financial advisor at D.A. Davidson, a financial services firm. He was saying 30 years ago, you didn't see this. People were tired and they were done with work. Now, with the gig economy, there's the ability to turn side projects or interests into paying businesses. It's a trend that I've seen build over the last 5 to 10 years, and it's still growing. Now, for some people, it is truly financial. They are working past age 65 because if they did not, they would not meet their living needs. That's not the majority of you that are watching these videos. The majority of you watching these videos go, I've saved and invested well. I feel like I'm in a good spot. Of course, having more would always be wonderful, but I really want to make sure that there's nothing I'm leaving on the table. Should I work part-time? Would that help? Because I won't have health care traditionally until Medicare kicks in. Should I go get a part-time job? Or you'll just be like, it's weird. I haven't not worked since I was like 16. So what the heck am I going to do? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to consider finding something if you would really enjoy it. Look at this. Of the retirees with jobs over age 65, 93% said they enjoyed their work. 55% of those people said they took it on in order to participate in an activity they find mentally or socially stimulating. Now, my financial brain wants to make sure you understand one thing very well. If you were to bring in $20,000 in a single year, you might think that doesn't really help much. You might think, I made $200,000 during my peak earnings years. So by you telling me I'm bringing in 20,000 a year and that I'm doing a good job, I think you're just lying to me. That's what I had a client say. They said, Ari, are you just being like a nice guy? Because to be honest, remember, I was making a lot of money when I was in my early 60s, right before I retired. Now I'm only bringing in 20,000 a year. And you say you're happy with me. Are you just being a nice guy? And I said, no, I try to be nice, but in this case, I'm not being a nice guy. And they said, why? I said, you bringing in $20,000 a year is a big deal because you have a $2 million portfolio. So the fact that you need $80,000 a year to live, I need to send you that from your $2 million so you can meet your living expenses. And they said, yeah, I got that. I said, if you were to bring in $20,000, the beauty of you bringing that in is that's $20,000 fewer that I need to send you from your portfolio, which means that can continue to grow. And you could see their lights starting to spin in their head where they were thinking, oh, so normally I need 80,000 a year. If now I need 60,000 from my portfolio because I'm working a part-time job that I actually enjoy, but it brings in $20,000, well, that's allowing my $2 million to grow at a much faster rate. Because if your $2 million grows at 10% in a given year, that's $200,000. That's significant. But if you didn't have 200,000, you had 1.8. Okay, still a significant amount of money. It still grew by $180,000, but that $20,000 delta there, that makes a big impact over time. So that's important to understand. You bringing in a little bit of money helps in a big way because it means you don't have to withdraw as much from your portfolio. The flip side of this, which I don't want you to fall into this trap, is people will actually go get a job that they don't enjoy. You can see 55% of these people said they took it to actually participate in an activity they find mentally or socially stimulating. There are some people that are just working for financial purposes. And what I don't want is if you're in a good spot financially, but you're still having what I call head trash, where you're like, I don't know if I can retire. What if markets go down? What if tax brackets go up? What if all of a sudden inflation rises? What I don't want you to do is go back to work just because it's a financial paycheck. If you're in a good spot, pretend you have $2 million and you want to spend $80,000 a year, you're in a good spot. If you go work a part-time job that you do not enjoy just to please your advisor so they can send you $60,000 a year instead of $80,000 a year, that is not a trade-off that I would strongly consider. If you're in a good spot where you don't need to keep working and you choose to, know that financially it will help you. But don't let that be the driver. Don't let the tax tail wag the life dog. That's how we'll say it here at our company, Root. Don't simply, and I'll see this, people will move from California to Florida to save a ton in taxes. And I'll say, is that what you want to do? And they'll go, no, but look at the tax savings. And I'll go, oh, I know. It's significant. I live in California. I'm here with you. But your friends aren't in Florida. What are you going to do now that you don't have your Wednesday night basketball game? What are you going to do now that it's going to be too hot? So now you're not going to work out. So now you can't prioritize your health. So don't make the mistake of just doing something because you feel like you should, but also know yourself and go, hey, if I'm going to do it, it's because I want to, not because I have to. And financially, I know that it helps, but that's not the primary reason I'm doing it. So a record number of people are working right now because they want to, because it's purposeful, because it brings fulfillment, because it brings community. This is something that's so often overlooked. So first of all, let me know, if you retire, are you planning to truly just travel and hang out with friends and family, which nothing wrong with that? Do you plan to have a community? What do you plan to do? Let me know in the comments. It's fun for me to get to read, and it's fun for all of you who watch and hopefully can see what other people are doing. Maybe you gain one new idea. Maybe you don't gain a single new idea. Maybe you find out that, oh my gosh, I just realized through reading these comments, I'm nothing like these people and I'm not going to do what they do. You might find there's one thing that just makes you tweak your retirement and maybe that's worth it. I mentioned this a few videos ago, but this is what I call the stress testing. And this is what I'd want everyone to do if you currently are thinking about retiring or you've already retired, is I want you to stress test your financial strategy. What if markets drop 20%? What if Social Security benefits are reduced? What if inflation goes up? What if returns are way less than you first projected them to be? What if you live till you're 100? What if healthcare costs go up? Play around with these different scenarios and understand the position that you're in financially so that you truly are working because you want to, not because you have to. If you want access to that last tool that I just showed you, that is inside of my Early Retirement Academy. There's no one-on-one guidance, meaning you're not speaking to me directly, but you can go run your own what-if scenarios. You can play with different tax strategies. You can play with insurance and withdrawals and estate planning and all these really cool features to start to understand, okay, what position am I in? You can also see that they come with custom videos from myself to help you if you want to actually understand Social Security or Monte Carlos or long-term care or college planning or you name it. So very extensive. It's a few $100 for a reason. This is so that no matter what, you can go build your own plan and see what you're on track for today. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.